Hi friends, thanks for stopping by. Today, Susan Lynn, Psychic Medium, and I need to talk to you about COVID-19, about coronavirus, because my guides won't leave me alone about it. So here I am again with a video a little sooner than typical. Listen, I've mentioned this in bits and pieces in other videos, but I'm going to try to all put it in one video right now. And I'm going to give it to you up front because I know a lot of times you get interrupted and you can't watch the entire video. Here's the thing. We are in the super spreader event as a country. Of course, you're going to see certain cities, they're going to have worse outbreaks. Milwaukee just popped into my head. Obviously, we know that El Paso, Texas is having a terrible outbreak right now. They have ordered more morgues, more semi-truck trailers that happen to be morgues because they don't have enough place to put all the dead people. This is a downer subject, and I'm sorry, but if you're watching it, you're concerned about it, and you should be concerned about it because we are at this point now where people are catching the virus that have no idea how they got it. In other words, people who are relatively safe. I have many friends all of a sudden in the last 4 days that have come down with COVID-19. And these are people that wear a mask that really don't go out much at all. They don't have young kids in their house. I mean, there's just, how did they get it, right? I mean, how? So that's where we are now. The virus is out there to a degree that it's much easier to catch. So this is important for you to hear. I've been talking about this for a month. And honestly, back in January, I saw this happening. In February, I saw this happening. I sat on my couch and cried because I could see the people dying. I could see the whole thing play out in front of me. And I didn't have a channel back then, but it wouldn't have mattered because we've never experienced anything like this, right? And we had to learn. We had to just go through the motions and figure it out. And we're still doing that because here's the problem. We obviously have a lot of people that are anti-maskers. We have a lot of people who feel like you're gonna tell me what to do. No, you're not, right? Regardless of the fact that we wear seatbelts for the same reason, right? It's about protecting our community because honestly, as humans, we don't always do what's best for us. So our government steps in and says, you know what, when you're on an airplane, you need to wear a seatbelt. And sometimes the captain can tell you to sit in your seat and you're not going to get up. And you're going to follow the rules, right? That's where we are now as a society, especially within the United States. We need to follow some rules. We need to all get together behind this. And as I mentioned before, this is the perfect analogy. Spirit, God, Buddha, Muhammad, whoever it is that you pray to, the universe, whoever, this is the perfect way for us to learn our lesson. What is our lesson? Is to love one another, is to appreciate one another, and to value each other as equals. What do masks do when you wear a mask? It actually protects the other person. It doesn't so much help you as it helps them. So isn't this the most beautiful and simple way for us to all learn this lesson? If we would all wear masks, a lot of people would live. Frankly, 100,000 people would live between now and January. And actually, I think that's way more because we're in a spike and those numbers were mentioned a month ago. So we could save so many lives just by wearing a mask that protects other people. That's our lesson here. That is our lesson as humans. But we don't want to learn that lesson. Some of us don't want to learn that lesson. So what do we do? Because if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you wear a mask and I'm pretty sure you do what you need to do. Now, some of us, we've just gotten tired, right? I mean, we've been cooped up and this summer we were able to get out and maybe go eat at restaurants or maybe go to the park and do things and just start to feel a little bit more normal. And to be frank with you, we're not ready to be reined back in. We're not ready for dark winter and we're not ready to have to go back in our homes and not be able to go to the mall or not be able to go get our hair done or get that, elective surgery or really the thing on most people's minds, I think the majority of Americans is go to my son's football game, go to my daughter's volleyball game. They want that back. They want normalcy back. Their kids need it. They need it. I get it. But I'm sorry, we are about to go into a time of COVID infection that's even worse than the beginning of the infection. It's way worse. It's exponentially worse. So, what can you do? Here's what you can do. You can wear a mask. You can stay home. I'm sorry, I don't want to do it either. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I've got big plans for Thanksgiving. They entail going to New Orleans, which is a freaking cool city, and having a friend who's a gourmet chef cook me Thanksgiving dinner. But you know what? I'm pretty sure I'm going to cancel it for one reason. My guides have been saying for 2 months, you're not going. You're not going. And you know, when they do that, it just pisses me off. I just want to say, guess I'm going to go. You know, screw you, I'm going. You know, I just turned into a toddler and I just want to. Listen, if you have plans for Thanksgiving, I want you to do me a favor and I want you to make alternate plans. I want you to make plans, get food and put it in your freezer in case you may need it. I've mentioned this on other videos. I'm going to mention this because it's really important. Thanksgiving is going to be not the best for most of us. And that may mean somebody in your family gets COVID-19 or is quarantined because they think they have COVID-19. And all of a sudden, they're not coming to dinner and you've got too much food, or you're going to their house and you have no food. Make alternative plans. Be flexible. Try to be flexible. The good news that I can give you is that the holidays, the Hanukkah and Christmas is a lot better. It's not perfect, and we're still going to have hot spots, but they're going to be a little bit more contained. They show me that we'll understand more about the hot spots at that time. But what happens is when the hot spots flare up, it shocks us to a degree that we all kind of freak out. And that's happening right around Thanksgiving, the week of Thanksgiving, the week after Thanksgiving. We all kind of freak out like, I mean, really, it's worthy of a freak out because we don't know. That's the big thing. We don't know. Is this going to happen in my town? Is this going to happen in my city? We don't know that yet. But it does stay in very, they're showing me very isolated, not isolated, but the spots that it's in are contained in these bubbles of virus. So you'll have flare-ups in a city, a flare-up in a city. And so by Christmas, we have done a good job of social distancing and shutting down some cities. And we have a better idea of okay, it hasn't erupted in this city. Therefore, we're probably okay having Christmas. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but all I can tell you is that Christmas, Hanukkah, the holidays around December feel like we've dodged a bullet. It feels like we have gotten lucky. It's also about the time that they will ratify and certify the votes. So that will happen. That's another reason why we might be feeling good about the holidays. But I want to talk to you two more things about, I don't want this to be very long, about COVID-19. If you don't follow Denise Siegal on YouTube, do it. She's an astrologer and a psychic, and she does some amazing astrology about the the United States astrological chart. But she also does testing. She has some homeopathic companies that use her blindly. They just give her like 5 packets, and they say which one of these will be good for this, and then she psychically tunes in and says this one. Okay. One of the things that she didn't know at the time, but they gave her a few things to check for COVID-19. She didn't obviously know what she was checking for. She just knew this one is going to be the most homeopathic for this virus that you're asking me to check on. So that pill is called quercetin, Quercetin. I'm going to put it on the screen. And lo and behold, if you look it up, MedPage, which is a very respected medical research community, actually rates it as good for COVID-19. So, and my guides told me immediately when I saw that video, I don't even know how many months ago it was, I saw that video and I went out and ordered it on Amazon because my guide said, you need to take this. And I took it. And then the other thing is zinc. Take zinc. So, I'm giving you this information because I feel like these two things, if you take them, right now, and especially if you get exposed to it, it can really help you. Now, my guides told me you're not supposed to take this all the time forever, because when you take something all the time, your body gets used to it, and then it doesn't have the same effect anymore. So you might want to take it if you feel like, well, like right now I started taking it. They told me to start taking it. So I started taking it again. I took it back in April and maybe half of May, and then they said stop, and I stopped. I didn't take it all summer. Now they're telling me to take it again. So I think I take one pill of each of those every day. So there's that. Free will. Do that if you like. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is simply something that my guide said that might help you. So please do your due diligence. Okay, the other thing, there was something really important I needed to tell you about COVID-19, and I thought I was going to swing back around to it, and now I can't remember what it is. Well, I'm going to talk about the vaccine, because that's, of course, we're all happy and thrilled and excited that there will be a vaccine, and I think that also may give us a little false hope in the sense that this vaccine is going to be rolled out for first responders, police, and hopefully nurses and doctors, because that's going to be a big problem with them getting the virus and not being able to take care of the patients. Apparently, I think 100 Secret Service people that actually protect the president have COVID-19 and or are quarantining. I'm sure they'll get it first as well. But this vaccine, I hear it's going to be successful, okay? But we have some problems. First of all, we have the same problem with the mask wearers. The anti-maskers don't want to take the vaccine. There's a lot of anti-vaxxers out there. They don't want to take the vaccine. Can't make them take it, right? So it might be a 2-part vaccine on top of that, and I think it has to be kept on dry ice. So the method of dissemination of the vaccine is going to be difficult. If you're in a rural area, it may be very hard for you to get it. So it's going to be harder to roll it out. It's not like, the government just ships pills to Walmart and we're all good, right? That's not how it's going to go down. So it's going to take a lot longer to roll out. So the guides don't want you to let your guard down thinking there's a vaccine coming. It's coming, but it's coming a little slower than we thought, okay? And the other thing, this was the important thing that I almost forgot to tell you. There's different strains of this virus. So some of the strains really just don't impact you much at all. You might have a little fever, you might lose your taste, and then you're back on the road to doing your own thing, right? Some of the strains throw blood clots more often than other strains. Those are the more deadly ones. So that's what's important here, because it's complicated. And it's just important for you to know that, because I don't want you to think that it's just the flu, because it's not just the flu, people. It's not. It's deadly. And it's here for us to learn our lesson. Our lesson is wear a mask, because a mask protects my fellow human being, my fellow friend, my fellow person on this planet. So if we can do that, if we can all wear masks and therefore honor each other, then we can get through this thing much quicker, with many less deaths, with much less disruption to the economy. So hopefully all that made sense to you. I hope it was helpful. I just want you to have a heads up. Forewarned is forearmed. And please be careful leading up to Thanksgiving. It's really going to be pretty shocking, I think, what happens in certain cities. It's just going to be a big blow up in a city, and then that's going to worry. It's going to be like a shock wave that goes around the United States, and it's going to make everybody very wary and worried. Okay, so that's what I see. It's not like the whole United States blows up at once with virus. It's just that a few cities blow up really bad, and then that makes us all feel very uncertain. To the degree that you can, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you can get outside and enjoy the beautiful fall weather, because instead of going to the gym or doing other things, I'm outside walking trails and walking my dogs and trying to get exercise that way. I'm just trying to be as safe as I can, and I hope you are too. I wish you guys all the best.